How's it going, everyone? It's Zerker, and we are back with another manga haul for the month of December. I mean, this haul kind of was larger than I actually anticipated. I actually found a used bookstore close to where I used to live. Decided, since I was in the area today, I hopped in there to check it out, and they actually had a pretty decent selection. Even though their selection shelving was only like two of these shelves, and that was about it. But the overall items that they had were actually pretty decent, and I was actually surprised about what they actually had on the shelves for purchase. So what we'll do is we'll go through all of those first, and then we'll move on to what I got through Right Stuff and I believe Amazon. And what I ended up doing was, because I had some stuff come in on my Amazon shipment, I actually opened my Amazon box and moved it all. So I just consolidated everything into one box, so it won't be a normal unboxing at this point. Everything, since I got a lot of from the used bookstore, and then everything consolidated down. So we'll get right into it right now. To start off the haul, we're gonna do the used bookstore first. So I ended up finding volume 2 of Planet Tests. From my understanding, this is the first series that the mangaka for Vinland Saga did. They did have this particular volume in stock. It is kind of beat up, but I do realize and understand that this is a fairly older series, and it's one that I'm just going to take my time on getting into singles. Following up, I ended up picking volumes 2 through 5 of Kimi Kiss. This is a 5-volume series. It's a 5-volume high school harem series, and I pretty much picked it up because I am a disgusting ass person, to be honest with you. I actually forgot to pull the price tag off of this one, but that's fine. So I got these 3 for like 99 cents. This one was $3 or $2.50. But yeah, and it's just a high school harem, and it's kind of my trash, I guess. But yeah, all I need is volume 1 and it would be complete. I also ended up finding at this used bookstore the single, well, a single of Knights of Sidonia. This is volume 1. This is a series I've actually had on my radar for a long while. I actually have all of the, I think they're called the master editions, essentially the omnibus versions of this, on a wish list that I have on Amazon. And we all know at this point kind of where I stand with omnibuses, so that's pretty much why I haven't ordered them. I figured if I find them in the singles at a fair price, I'll snag them up. Surprisingly, this store also had volumes 2 and 3 of Girls Under Panzer. I already had volume 1, figured why not. I actually, and this is like my guilty pleasure because I absolutely love the anime for this. I love the films for this show, or for this series I should say. So I had to pick it up, and it's only 4 volumes in total for this particular one. I had to pick it up. And lastly, this next stack really is gonna cover pretty much everything that is left from what I got at the used bookstore. And it is 7 volumes of Bladed the Immortal singles. I ended up being able to find volumes 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and volume 26. And I'm just going to run through the covers here real quick. Main reason why I decided to grab these is mostly because I want to have the singles of every omnibus that I do buy, apart from a couple series. And this is one of the series where I don't want the omnibuses for, and it's one that I want the singles for. And I have seen these singles pretty available at primarily at Half Price Books. That is kind of like our biggest used bookstore here, but their prices obviously are not that great. There is a couple other used bookstores here that do carry them every now and then, that have them at a much lower price. Of course, they kind of go out pretty quickly, and I've consumed enough Blade the Immortal. I watched the original anime, the new one. I watched the live action, and I never opened the deluxe editions, so I don't really plan to either, especially now that I actually purchased a lot of these singles of it. So I'm just gonna work my way in collecting as much as I can. If I do get them all, fantastic. If I don't, oh well. But with all that said, that is essentially everything that I got at this used bookstore, and we're gonna move on to pretty much everything that I got through the Right Stuff Black Friday sale, the Right Stuff holiday sales, like the week 1 of the holiday sale or something like that. A couple pre-orders that I got through Amazon. All right, so I figure we'll start with I think we'll just start with the pre-orders that I got from Amazon, since they are pretty much currently serializing stuff and a new series that I'm gonna be checking out. Ended up getting volume 7 of Blood on the Track. Super excited to get back into reading this one. I'm gonna wait until I get a couple more volumes. I read volumes 1 and 2 already and was absolutely hooked. Of course I'm a Oshimi fanboy at this point, so pretty much anything he puts out I'm gonna love. So I'm gonna let this one actually get completely finished before I actually binge through it all. On top of that, Amazon did a wonderful job. There is a crease pretty much right there from when they stuffed it in a padded envelope, so good job on you, Amazon. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be checking out a new series, and that new series is Kaiju number 8. Don't really remember a whole lot from this, and I'm going to wait until I get volume 2 before I actually read this one. I did skim through it. It looked really interesting as far as art was concerned. I didn't read a whole lot of blurbs, but I do remember hearing a lot about this earlier in the year and a lot of hype surrounding it. Everyone was saying that this is like the next big one, the next big shonen jump manga, I guess. So I jumped onto it. Speaking of hype, Chainsaw Man, this is volume 8, and not much more to say other than if you ain't reading this, you are missing out. This is gonna be insane. And lastly, for the pre-orders, volume 9 of Don't Toy With Me, Ms. Nagatoro, best girl ever. These next mangas are going to be everything that I got through Right Stuff's Black Friday sale, and I want to say the first week of their holiday sale that they did. And we're going to start it off with a bundle that I just randomly discovered. First 3 volumes of For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams. From my understanding, this is very similar to Erased, and so I guess it's a mystery story. I actually have no experience with Erased, so I can't say for sure. I do know that apart from these covers being absolutely amazing and Yen Press going above and beyond by making all of these hardcovers, and the artwork inside of these looks great. And I did read up a little bit of reviews and a lot of people saying this is a good story to get into. I decided to check it out, so I saw that they had a bundle, jumped on the bundle, and I'll see how it goes from there for me. Next up, this was definitely one I got on the holiday sale, and honestly the title caught my attention. The cover is very unique as well, in that it doesn't give a whole lot of detail. And I'm talking about An Invitation from a Crab. From my understanding, this is a slice of life supernatural josei. I think this might be my first josei genre manga, I believe. Not much more to say other than that. I'll probably do something about it down the road whenever I get to it. Now, a couple months back, I did purchase Berserk of Gluttony Volume 1, and I mentioned how our main character here on the cover is basically like Edgelord Kyoto from Sword Art Online, and I went in not expecting to enjoy this volume, and I hate to say this, but I freaking loved reading this manga. This is one of those ones where you can just pick up at any time and just not think about it and still enjoy the shit out of this. So with that said, I decided to pick up volumes 2 and 3 just to see how the story kind of develops. The artwork in this is actually really good. I was really enjoying it. The story, from what I remember when I read volume 1, was enjoyable. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a legitimate shot. The 3-volume rule. If volume 3 doesn't hold my attention, we'll kick it. Next up is another series that I got through the Right Stuff holiday sale as a bundle, and that was volumes 1 to 3 of Welcome to the NHK. From my understanding is a drama comedy, and I believe it was a romance. I know this is one I see tossed around as a recommendation for people to look into. I decided to jump into it and see. I'm gonna give it the 3-volume rule, and we'll see how it goes from there as well. Originally bought this next one to qualify for the free shipping through Right Stuff. It set me over the threshold that they were looking for, and I didn't actually anticipate looking forward to reading it. And I'm talking about Tony Takazaki's Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, from my understanding, this is like a parody on Neon Genesis Evangelion. From the back, it says, in Japan, manga prankster Tony Takazaki creates a parody of Neon Genesis Evangelion that is consistently voted the 2nd or 3rd most popular title in the Evangelion manga's home magazine, beating most of the series titles. And when I read that, I was like, okay, that's surprising. We'll see what this is exactly about. I believe it's just a one-shot volume, like this is it. And we can see here that Ava here is eating a bowl of ramen. So these next three and the final three that I have are ones that I thought were going to be very interesting to have in the collection and very interesting to potentially read down the road. These are, from my understanding, adaptations of stories into manga form. These particular stories from this particular author I have actually never read. I know that this author for these stories was something that was fairly popular when I was in high school for people to read. I just never got into it because I wasn't a huge reader in high school. So yeah, I just never bothered. But so what I'm talking about is The Hound and Other Stories, an adaptation artwork by Gao Tanabe. So I'm assuming he is taking H.P. Lovecraft's story of The Hound and Other Stories and giving them art and life, essentially, into manga format. On top of that, I also decided to buy Gao Tanabe's other two adaptations that he made. That's volumes 1 and 2 of At the Mountains of Madness. And these are chonky boys. They're pretty thick for what they are. And like I said, I have no clue or real any understanding of like H.P. Lovecraft's work, other than I know that a lot of my friends in high school were reading it and they loved it. I decided to give it a shot because it's in a medium that I enjoy, and they look, as simple as these covers look, it fits the narrative of what I've heard about H.P. Lovecraft, so I'm like, why not? So that wraps it up for my second haul of December. I definitely am preferring to do these shorter haul videos, like once every couple weeks instead of once a month. And if you're enjoying this video as well, or this kind of style of haul that's shorter, let me know in the comments below. It would help me out as far as gauging what works or what's better. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button. That helps me out a lot as well. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.